So resiliency and sustainability, they're related, but resiliency we think of focus on climate change adaptation and mitigation, making sure that we're responding to threats like sea level rise, or that we're trying to reduce our emissions to make things a little bit less risky in the near and long-term future. And then sustainability, we're looking at how we can reduce our impact on natural resources as we build, as we develop. Those are all really important concepts because it's about how we want to build as a future in Palm Beach County and making sure that we're not compromising future generations, as well as preparing for our risks and shocks right now and making sure our communities are protected.
Work with community partners of South Florida, a nonprofit, not a climate change.
I mean, the whole message of the compact is that we need to come together because climate change doesn't care about jurisdictional boundaries. You'll hear that a lot. And so the things that we're really good about partnering on with Monroe and Broward and Miami-Dade are things like policy platforms or legislative agendas for the year at the state level and at the federal level. That's something we work with them on. We look at how we can set guidelines like a regional climate action plan so that as we're building our own tailored to Palm Beach County, we have this reference model to start from.
Well, events like this are fantastic. They reach a limited audience, but they're reaching our political leaders. The Southeast Florida Compact was one of the first organizations to do this and is being very successful at garnering that local political wherewithal to deal with the issue. Education is important, and apparently each person has to reach their own epiphany as to when they realize this is important.
We try to come to these sort of events to engage with them, catch up, and also see what are they doing locally, what types of projects are going on down here to prevent flooding after hurricanes. How can we stay more resilient? How can we adapt? What are the types of projects that we can invest in that can drive our future forward?
Building ourselves up to have a thriving community and really take on projects that our community wants and that people want to see and lead to the most efficient functioning of operations as the government as well as just the public.
It's really about how we manage the changes that are happening with our climate and our weather, and how we prepare our communities to be able to withstand these changes and the way we can adapt to it.
Resilience. There is a return on investment in resilience. When we are building a LEED certified building, the building will last longer. It will be storm resistant, which means we don't have to put in $4 in the future to repair those buildings. We also need to look at stormwater, and we look at drainage and elevations. These are all things that if we make that investment now, it returns multiple millions of dollars in the future that we don't have to spend.
Our Office of Resilience has had broken 4 of those along the way. Capital-wise,
we're not alone in Palm Beach County, and our challenges are different, but there's so many that are similar. And it's good to know you've got friends who are facing the same challenges out there, but taking their ideas, and they can take our ideas and looking for funding sources and help and assist in developing our infrastructure and being ready to meet the challenges of the next 10, 20, 50, 100 years.
It's incredible. They want to know what you're doing.
I've seen the variety of projects from everything from raising roads to trying to have community meetings to ensure that all communities have a voice in trying to increase the resiliency here in South Florida.
Sharing information about the way projects work and different technologies or resources that they can use. That takes the form of either coastal restoration projects or urban forestry related projects and wetland restoration.
I love the definition of resilience that it's like a spring. You know, it's not just about after a disaster event like a hurricane, we bounce back, but we shouldn't bounce back to the same place. We should bounce forward. We should rebuild in a way that next time a disaster hits, there won't be as much damage. If we can protect our people, protect our buildings, protect our environment, it's so much more cost effective to be preventative than reactive with these types of things.
that's all that climate resilience actually is taking a look at what our most vulnerable systems are, our critical systems are, our vulnerable populations, and being able to have them sustain those operations before, during, and after these types of events, and going into the future as we potentially see these events, increasing in frequency, duration, and timing of them.
Is that everybody at the end of the day wants good flood control. They want to have water supply. These are things that are relevant to living here, and we all want to live here. We love it. I mean, look out here. Who doesn't want to live here? But if living here means that you have to drink water, you have to prevent saltwater intrusion from getting to your well fields, that you want to be able to drive on roads or bicycle on roads or walk without wading, then you need to think about climate change, how it impacts you, and what things you're doing to make sure that your communities are resilient, will come back quickly after a shock to the system, or will handle the stresses a little bit better. And really, that's what a lot of the conversations you hear indoors today is about. Resiliency of these communities, making sure that we can deal with everything that's happening to us better.
We truly believe that people can't protect something they don't know about and love. So our entire goal is to get people out to the park, learn about it, learn more about it, want to protect it, and take action to do so.
Resiliency should be the operating words of the state. And the whole effort of Resiliency Florida is to say, look, bring business together, bring government together, bring private sector, bring not-for-profits, bring your associations.
Community-based organizations are those experts who know who's sick, who knows who needs help and who's struggling, and it's a way to integrate resiliency into work like affordable housing and economic mobility and public health issues.
Your leadership's got to be on board. That's number one. And then be truthful, be transparent. Again, courageous communication should be the guiding principle. It's not an easy conversation to have.
Opportunity to honor Kristen Jacobs.
Let's all come together and start to figure this out.
To me, resiliency is ensuring that Florida is going to be livable for the next 14,000 years.
Resilience to me is empowering everybody to know that all of their actions add up to something larger than themselves.